Welcome back to Overvolted, where today we're going to be upgrading the lead acid battery that's in the Venom E-Vader. While lead might be a delicious thing in paint, it's a horrible battery chemistry for something like this. So we're going to get rid of that and swap it out for something better. Let's go get the battery options. Here we are, a lot of battery options, and I'm out of breath from carrying them. On the right, we have our 20. All right, let's pause right there. So I ended up using these first two batteries on different builds by the time I got to this one. So let's just skip on forward to the big boy. This battery was actually intended to go in this bomber e-bike build that we have over here, except it didn't fit at all. It's too big. Anyway, we'll throw it in the Vader. Like I said, this is a 72 volt, 80 amp hour battery, so it should have quite the range. It's very heavy, very solid, and yes, it is covered in duct tape. COD power. All right, and the first step of this challenge is gonna be a baseline. We're gonna baseline what the E-Vader can do stock with its stock lead acid battery array, see how far we can get, see what the top speed is, that sort of thing, and then we can compare them against these guys. To the garage. And as a reminder of what we're working with here, I've got a whole video unboxing this thing and going over the setup and stuff on it. If you want to check that out, I'll put a little bloop bloop somewhere. All right, fully charged battery. Let's do it. Here we go. Okay. I stopped on the side of the road here because my GoPro ran out of batteries. Yet another battery that is failing me. That keeps happening to me. Boy, I just love pushing these things around the streets. You could say I'm a poor planner and have too much optimism and faith in these Chinese-built machines, but whatever. Let's go do it some more. And actually, before we do that, here are the stats from my draggy session that I did on the stock battery, and you can see the baselines of what that lead-acid battery can do. All right, let's tear this thing down and see what we're working with. I think most everything here is 8mm hexes and a few King Phillips here and there. Here we go. All right, everything else is nice and floppy, but there's something here. And I've already taken that screw out that I could see visibly, because that's how I see things. Oh, would you look at that? Oh, and hiding behind that is another hex. That should do it. Very nice. Whoa. Look at that battery array. So we've got this 72 volt controller, and I notice here, they've got a 72 volt to 12 volt DC to DC converter, 10 amps for all your 12 volt accessories. Before you start disconnecting things and stuff like that, on the other side of this faux gas tank is where that little breaker is. Make sure to shut that off so there's no power going to the controller. It is nice that all the battery weight is down low for that low center of gravity, and everything else is pretty tightly packed in here. And these are the batteries we took out. Sealed lead acid batteries, they are 12 volt, 20 amps. So this stock configuration had a 72 volt system, because 6 of these were in series, at 20 amp hours. And as far as the battery box measurements, we are looking right at 9 inches wide, 14.5 long. And from what I could tell as far as height, if you want the entire width, you'd have about 7.25 before this bracket starts bending in. All right, it is in, and I've wedged it in place with the 2x4 so it doesn't go anywhere. It's also insanely heavy, so it's not moving. I needed to think of a more elegant solution for this, but I didn't want to just fill it up with something because if I upgrade the speed controller, it may fit up there or it might need to go down here. So I kind of want to leave that space open. So for now, this is what I got. Fill it with flammables. Guys, I just stopped to switch GoPro batteries because the last one died. I'm at 46.2 miles right now as far as range goes, and I'm still trucking. So now I'm just riding around so I can drain the battery. All right, guys, you are back on because as you can see, my battery meter is flashing now, and I'm at 59.3 miles. So 59.3 miles. So I am almost, and I'm sure I will get to 60 miles, which is going to be 3 times as much as the other one, meaning the battery performed about as good as I could expect it, which is awesome. All right, and as you can see from these stats, it made a better upgrade than we thought. I mean, of course, in range, it was basically 1-to-1 with how many amp hours you have. So if you had a 20 amp hour battery, you went around 20 miles. If you had a 60 amp hour battery like I did, went around 60 miles. But also, if you look at the timings, you also get a lot more punch. I mean, looking at the 60-foot timings, yes, it came down a little bit, but the 0 to 30 is where it really started to show out. 7.4 seconds versus the original 12.1, that's huge. And also the 8th mile times went from 18.18 to 15.79. And look at the speed difference. That's 33 miles an hour compared to 39, almost 40 miles an hour. So it made a big difference. Now I picked that battery because I already had it from a different build, but if I were to buy a new battery, I would pick a lithium iron phosphate battery because less explosions. I'm going to link you to both the battery that I have as well as a lithium iron phosphate battery that I know one of you guys has on their Vader and had good success with. This is definitely worth the upgrade and pretty much essential if you're going to do any other upgrades to this bike. And more upgrades is what we're going to do. So we have a new speed controller and a new motor on the way from Chinaland. So when they get here, we're going to be installing those things and doing some more tests. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you can, and I'll see you next time.